It's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi, but as always, I have the ladies with me. Alaja, Nima, Akashat Zivi, how you doing today?
Fine. I need more rest because I didn't rest this weekend at all. And my husband is over concerned, making it worse. Because I don't like people worrying around my head and saying, I hope you are fine.
The way she said it, worrying around my head.
Yes. But what happened to NEPA? Do people have light?
We got light this morning. We have not had light for the whole 2 to 3 days. I know you are not in our shoes.
No, but they are still taking. It's still going and coming. It's the inverter rescued us at home, but my office inverter battery is bad, and we tried buying batteries, and it's ridiculous. So we have a generator in my office now. For the first time in almost a year of being in that office, we had to run generators all through Friday and all through Monday, which is not a cost I had factored into the business. Another thing, yesterday, glory to God, I've taken over your banter. Sorry, continue. It's bad. Power is bad. Won't shut down, eh?
No, our power in that estate has been from bad to worse and worse. And I don't know, pray we see another worst. You know, so I need them to really, as they have been promising, repair whatever is making us being rationed. So I can get light today, I will not get tomorrow. And then tomorrow everything collapses, I will go days, and then they bring it back. I did not live in that place like that. I don't know that kind of
Well, welcome to my world.
They didn't use to that. So my inverters are overburdened. And when you overburden your inverter, there's a thing there that, reduces the charging power. I didn't know. Collapsed, and we had to change it expensively. So it's not finding. I'm not finding it funny.
So yes, I'm good. Yesterday, one of my clients turned friend bought a house in Bagada, and I'm so grateful to God. My sister-in-law is getting to do the entire interior, and it's a little bit of good news because I know that the money is legitimate, made in Nigeria, and there are opportunities like that, and people are still making money. Because when we discussed a show as heavy as yesterday with the negative connotation of there is no solution, we can think that nobody is making money here. There are. However, if you want to buy a house and you don't buy it quickly, you will still buy it. It's just that cement is now 6,500 naira. How would construction people that sold in December cope? A December bulk sale or bulk purchase of cement was at 4,000 naira. And you sell at December, and you're trying to build the house in February, and you're buying what you quoted for 4,000 at 6,500. Please, inflation, be kind.
Let me put another perspective to that pricing. I had not bought soft drinks in a long time. I think it was yesterday. I asked them to buy a bottle, and he said it was 300 naira. Wait. I said
100 naira to 300.
300. Bottle of water is 150.
I didn't even know that.
What?
A bottle of water, we buy it every day in traffic.
And then I heard someone saying that a crate of eggs is now 4,000 naira.
No, you should come and buy from our own.
Well, how much is yours?
It's 3,000.
I get three. Well, last time I bought 3,200, but someone said they bought yesterday at 4,000 naira.
Maybe in town. You know me, I have so many egg farms.
And then, of course, bread and everything. So all I would say is that this is in keeping with what I've been preaching. Let's just dump all these sugar things anyways and just eat healthy. Invest in healthy food. Since everything is expensive, let's just put the money in food that is nutritious and that will help us anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's just crazy. All this expensive. As I said, usually I used to be very good at keeping tabs. Right now I can't even keep tabs because all the things I used to buy, I've just cut down. I've so many things I don't
cut down anymore. There's nothing to cut down.
I don't buy those things anymore. So, for example, before, anytime I go out in a week, I can buy 3 loaves of bread twice each. It's like maybe Saturdays and I can buy on Wednesdays because the kids. This time it's just once a week. You stretch your bread. You stretch it.
Yam for sale.
Before they eat like 8 slices. I'm like You take 3 slices, get some tea, and you're good. You'll be crying. But we have to ration. The 3 loaves have to last for a week.
Yes.
Like I'm not going to finish up having 6 loaves per week. No, that was back then.
You've not started hiding food.
I've started hiding food.
Of course. We have put them in different places.
Hide the milk.
Hide the milk, hide the bread.
I'm hiding sugar.
Or else they'll finish it.
I'm hiding everything.
This is fun for them.
It's ridiculous. Let's go on a break. When we come back, look at the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the nation. EFCC freezes 3 billion naira traced to Sirika's brother's account. Forex reforms attracting FDI, says Cardoso. Protests rock Mina. King Charles diagnosed with cancer. Navy arrests Spain-bound stowaways. Jimmy Solanke dies at 81. Oyo Kaduna Cross River 2 share $540 million Africa Development Bank Fund. Okay, which story?
Take that.
Jimmy Solanke's story. So the master storyteller died.
Oh.
Yes, he died at 81, just a few months to his 82nd second birthday. He died in Shagamu. That's the Jimmy Solanke. And we remember him from our storytelling days on NTA, yes. So he's a folklore musician, film actor, dramatist, poet, playwright, and is renowned for his storytelling that formed most of us as children, and is also a cultural custodian. One of the things I liked is that these influences made me love everything African. Just from anywhere your African story is from, as long as it's African, it's something I can align with, and he
was quite
really
active up until death.
Yes, till death. His art school continued, and his art institution continued in Shagamu. One of those who he had at some point gone to the US, started his storytelling, African folklore career in the US, but he returned in the 80s to Africa, to Nigeria, and lived in the place, Ipararemo, where he was born. And he built a business and career around it.
And lived
a successful life. He's a grandfather, father, his wife survived him, his children and grandchildren. What a beautiful life. And my heart is with Uncle Theo, because I knew him as a very close friend to Uncle Theo Losa.
All right, Tokwe, what's the... Sorry, Mariam, go ahead.
So I have the major headline. EFCC have freezed 3 billion naira that's been traced to past Minister for Aviation's brother, Hadi Sirika. And the story is that the EFCC quizzed Abubakar Ahmed Sirika over an alleged 8.6 billion contract fraud in the Federal Ministry of Aviation. He is the brother to the immediate past minister, and is believed to have been that the minister awarded him some contracts. That he awarded his own brother these contracts, and he said that some of the contracts that were awarded him, he said 3 contracts were given to his company, or 4 big contracts actually, and it include the construction of the terminal building in Katsina Airport. That was over 1 billion naira. Then we had a fire truck maintenance and refurbishment center in Katsina Airport, over 3 billion. Procurement and installation of elevators, air conditioners, power generator house, procurement of Magnus aircraft and stimulator for Nigerian College of Aviation Technology. And so the EFCC says that they were able to uncover 4 of these contracts worth over 8 billion, which were not executed. And so, as we also remember, the past minister too is also embroiled in what a lot of people are calling like fraud concerning the Nigerian air as well. So EFCC is on it, and we'll see how this is, unravels.
So very stowaway. So 9 men who sneaked into a vessel with the intention to follow it to Spain were caught in Lagos. They were arrested by operatives of the Nigerian Navy after they had sighted clinging onto the vessel. The Nation reports that the merchant vessel was at the Lagos port in Apapa to discharge cargo and was at the Lagos Anchorage area where when the irregular migrants were arrested. So they actually stayed there for 5 days waiting for the vessel to move. Remember, I watched a movie recently about that in Nigeria, where Nigerian stowaways were in the vessel waiting for the vessel to move. So unfortunately, the Nigerian Navy handed them over to the Nigerian Immigration Service Commander, Commodore Kolawole Oguntunga, said that they neither considered the risk to their lives nor the image of the country before embarking on such a journey.
I saw something recently. People get into aircraft and wait for the thing that's about to land and then jump down. They don't think...
How do you jump on an aircraft?
Oh!
Where
in fact, the people
tires?
in that particular... Yes, where the tires open, people in that particular area say that they see a lot of that happening in their neighborhood, because a lot of the stowaways, when it gets to that neighborhood, that the plane starts to open its tires, and then He jumped. Of course, some of them jumped to their death. Some of them survived.
The desperation. So another set of desperate people in Minna, Niger State. It was major story all over the papers. The protest that rocked Minna, based on the fact that people were protesting, there was scarcity of food. So the allegation is that a cartel that is bent on sabotaging the good work of the state is they are mopping up foodstuff and livestock. So the protest involved women, vehicular activities. They blocked the road. Motorists and others had to find alternatives. And the protest was that they don't have food. They are hungry. There is no food. Help us get food cheaper. However, the deputy governor, Yakubu Garba, arrived at the scene and assured them that the government was listening to them and working hard to reduce the cost of living. But he also mentioned the real story, which is the story behind the story, that whenever foodstuff is being brought in from Lagos, somebody like a cartel will release the information and they will hire town criers to tell people to gather and block the road. And then they will loot the trucks that are bringing foodstuff from Lagos. And they got the information. So these people came thinking they were able to loot the food truck, and they diverted. They said the trucks that were bringing stuff was now diverted to Gidankwano to the Talba Farm Road. And that the security men got the information that they were going to come and do it again. So when the government now buys food to provide some form of palliative, the food stuff is getting looted, and it doesn't get to the people that it's supposed to get to. And they use the people against themselves. So that's the thing. There are a group of people that we mustn't allow ourselves to get used. At the end of the day, you might be protesting, but somebody is benefiting from your protest. And the government is suffering from this. Individuals couldn't get to their offices because of the protest, and it's so sad.
Yeah. The Punch. Nigerians seek relief as states get 3.3 trillion allocations. Naira's weekends at parallel markets rises at official window. Police comb Kogi forest as gunmen abduct 14 Abuja-bound travelers. Cancer, Biden, Sunak, world leaders sympathize with King Charles. Senate to raise customs 5 trillion naira revenue target. Tinubu Abiodun mourn as Jimmy Shulanke dies at 81. So, which story are we starting with? Let me start with King Charles. So, King Charles has been diagnosed with a form of cancer, says Buckingham Palace. It is not prostate cancer, but was discovered during his recent treatment for enlarged prostate. The type of cancer has not been revealed, but according to a palace statement, the king began regular treatments yesterday. Buckingham Palace said the king remains wholly positive about his treatment and looks forward to returning to full public duty as soon as possible. Okay?
Yeah, so I have this story from Kogi State. So they say 14 people were kidnapped yesterday in Kogi State. They were in a bus. God is Good Motors and ABC Transport. They were traveling from the east to Abuja, and in Kogi State, they were stopped and abducted. The way the story first broke out was the particular social media influencer, Chudi Namdi. He said that his wife was one of the people who were in the bus, and one of the buses, and the abductors had contacted him, and they were asking for 15 million for each person that was abducted. The police also confirmed this story. They said they heard about it. They went to the area where it happened, and they found 2 buses. They were empty, of course, so at the time could not ascertain the number of people who were in there, but now we know that there were 14 of them. The Kogi State government says that they're doing everything. They're combing the forest to see if there's anything, but they are going to keep investigating.
All right, let's go on a short break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right.
Ladies and gentlemen, pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni, Yeni, Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger!
Yeah, take it.
Today we'll go here.
Hey, I don't read you.
Are you sure?
Ha. I'm not here to answer questions. I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
What's your age?
I was close now. I said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fella's house wasn't even burnt in 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It don't start.
Ọmọ Fẹlá. Ọmọ Aníkúlá Pókùtì. Wọ́n rò pé kí ni kékeré yìí.
It's by Audison. It's not by Audison.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing the papers. Talk about any story? Should we move on?
Yes, the naira strengthening in the official window, weakening in the parallel markets. It's not a happy. I don't know. Some people probably are happy about this, but majority are not. So the local currency closed at 1,419 to $1 at the official window. It was, which is like a strengthening move as compared to where it closed in the official window last week Friday. It was 1,435. So just a little bit of difference. However, in the parallel market, the story wasn't the same. The story in the parallel market is that it was trading for 1,440 as compared to 1,460. Now, compared to last week, this is still an improvement, but they are saying that there are a group of orders. These hoarders are stockpiling the dollar, and they are the ones that are causing the problem. So they said the Bureau de Change operators in Sheraton Hotel in Abuja, and the Punch is gradually gaining against the Punch investigation is showing that some people are hoping to get some gain, but I'm hoping that the government's policy moves would make it impossible for them to get those gains.
It's not about policy. It's about Nigerians just choosing to do the right thing.
Nigerians, so there's
just
a big
choose
role.
to do the right thing. Because you don't, you're not producing anything. You're not creating anything. You're just sitting in your house and you're making money by just dollar for when you
it's a business that puts. No. The business the hoarding is not a business. So the hoarding is I buy at 1-2 and then I'm waiting. I see 1-3, I buy. I'm waiting.
A false scarcity.
Yes, that's not a business. Business is.
So you are not creating, you're not producing, you're not marketing, you're just sitting in your house and just waiting.
And forcing the economy to happen.
So there's no policy you do. Nigerians must just choose
to support
to do the right thing.
I have Nigerian customs on our revenue. So the chairman Senate Committee on Customs, Issa Jibrin, stated that the 5.something trillion revenue target of the Nigerian customs will be moved upward in 6 months' time. Revenue target of the Nigerian customs will be moved upward in 6 months' time into the other half of the year, because they are looking to, of course, generate revenue, and they are targeting that the customs is one of such revenues that agencies that can help us target internally generated revenue. I think it's a lot of burden with all the details that was in this story on the customs. They're also saying that they will not necessarily take away waivers. The waivers are very important for some sectors like agricultural sector and all of that. But for any import in those sectors, any which way, customs will likely have to review their targeted revenue for the year. What of the NNPC? I want to hear the Senate Committee on NNPC do the same. Let's even have their books. Customs come out every day and give us a target. They beat it most times. They're celebrated, but we don't hear anything from NNPC. Who is collecting our...
And in the process of moving their revenue to CBN, so we'll see how that goes. Daily Sun, protests rock Niger over hardship and insecurity. Government abduct passengers of 2 Abuja-bound buses in Kogi, demand 15 million naira each. Gas explosion in Lagos, 4-year-old girl, 4 others injured. EFCC arrests church leader over alleged 1.3 billion naira fake grants and money laundering. NCC gets February deadline to bar unregistered SIMs. CCB begins verification of public officers' assets in South. Okay, which story?
Okay, so the story here is the explosion that happened. They say on Sunday. It's been described as Black Sunday. There are two stories here. So the first one, they said there was a fire outbreak in a multi-purpose sawmill market located at Awori Bus Stop behind GT Bank, Abule Egba, and it destroyed property worth several millions of naira. And then on the same day, in a residence of, they said at number 1 Odubanwo Street off Olani Street in Ojokoro local government area, they said this particular incident happened. A grandmother, they say, she was frying meat, and then she says the oil caught fire, and they tried to put the fire out, but nothing, they couldn't, and the gas exploded. Unfortunately, they had her 4-year-old granddaughter was in the house sleeping, and she was caught up in the flames, and she's in hospital now in critical condition. The grandparents themselves and an uncle that tried to put the fire out, are also receiving treatment at the hospital. They said the fire razed the building that had about 14 apartments on that building, and so families have also lost their, where they stay. So sad story.
Really sad indeed. Another story.
So I have the NCC. So the Director of Compliance, Monitoring and Enforcement of FOSI of the NCC, Nigerian Communications Commission, has announced that by the end of February, all SIM cards not linked to their NIN will be cut off. And he gave reasons. He says that there have been several efforts to sabotage the linking of NIN to SIM cards, which they thought would have solved all our problems. So some people go ahead, buy SIM cards, which they collaborate with OTT, and they also use that to start a WhatsApp number, then discard of the SIM card, which does not require, WhatsApp doesn't require you to have a particular SIM, and then they continue their chats and all of that. So they are collaborating with OTT to tackle this challenge as they go forward. And the EVC, the director said, EVC said our job is to collaborate with all those that are in the value chain to see that they get value for Nigerians. So I'm hopeful if you do not have your SIM linked by February, Wala don't come. But
the process of linking is so complicated. My parents, both of them, that have their NIN and their phone link, the NIN is asking them to come back and register that their picture is not clear, that the picture is not sharp. Now, to re-register, they are paying money, and the queue is even longer. It's not fair. They have number, you can see their picture, they did not change address, but they should come and we make life difficult for ourselves. I want to tell you the story about the GO that, another GO that is scamming people. Yes, so EFCC arrested a GO that scammed people.
Like that.
He's a GO,
Head of
he's church, he's a general overseer of Faith on the Rock Ministry, Theophilus Eboyin. And he scammed people of 1.3 billion. This one is scam. This is not church. This is not religion. This is a scammer who happened to have been caught, who happened to have a church.
This guy,
he asked NGOs to register for a grant of $20 billion with 1.8 million naira. NGOs and individuals. He said he's in partnership with Ford Foundation. And he was advertising that he is in partnership with Ford Foundation. And through him, Ford Foundation would empower NGOs and businesses with $20 billion, and people's registration fee to be able to get through the clearance and access that Ford Foundation fund is 1.8. The total money he made was over 1.3 billion naira on a fake grant. Ford Foundation has come to deny that he had no connection with them. They don't even know his foundation. His foundation is called Theobald Global Foundation, and the commission has arrested him. They said they also found 3 houses. You know what? They said they found 3 houses attached to him. 5 properties that they said he used the proceeds from his criminal dealings to acquire, and he's still reaching out to his subscribers on some social media platform. This entire thing is just so bad, and it's really sad that I just don't research. You have 1.8 million naira. You cannot research that Ford Foundation has a link with this person.
Okay, Vanguard. Abducted GIGM ABC buses passengers. Kidnappers want 15 million naira to free my wife, says victim's husband. Cultural icon Jimmy Solanke dies at 82. Economic crisis, FG lacks ideas. Should seek help, says LP. Nigeria loses 890 billion naira as gas flaring rises 18.9%. High cost of living. Niger residents protest hunger, shut down major roads, and borrowing Senate to raise customs over 5 trillion naira revenue target. Okay, which story are we starting with? No story in Vanguard. Who has the Nigeria loses 890 billion naira?
Yes, gas flaring. The Nigerian government has been, I don't understand. Since I was born, there's been story of gas flaring, and we are still flaring gas, and we're still losing money. So the Nigerian gas flaring bill costs has been rising year on year by 18.9%. Currently, it sits at 275.2 million standard cubic. The data was obtained from National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency, and it's putting the value at, in 2023, $1 billion. I don't understand.
Okay, so LP is saying that the Labour Party said yesterday that the president has run out of ideas on how to resolve the country's economic crisis as such, should eat the humble pie and ask for help. According to the party, the president and his team have put in all they can, all they know to do, but instead of abating the economy crisis appears to be spiraling out of control. So the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Obiora, Ifo, explained that Nigerians across the board were currently bearing the brunt of ill-thought-out and poorly executed economic policies that have brought nothing but misery to citizens. Okay, that's LP. What other story? Let's move on quickly. Our final paper this morning, Tribune. Let's find a story of not taking. High cost of living sparks protest. 14 passengers in 2 buses traveling to Abuja kidnapped in Kogi. How I escaped from gunmen who murdered my colleague, says Ekiti traditional ruler. Abducted baby sold for 800,000 naira rescued in Lagos. And 4-year-old, several others in critical condition at Lasut after gas explosion. Okay.
I have the Alara of Ara Ekiti in Ikole local government area of Ekiti State, Oba Adebayo Fatoba. So he explained how he was able to escape while his own colleagues were shot and killed at the time. He explained that they've been having issues with headers coming in and attacking communities, and they had gone to this particular community. They were just sitting down, just discussing, you know, these attacks. On their way back, they were stopped by herders. They said at first there were just 3 of them that had come out, and so they struggled with them, but then realized that there were a lot more. And they also had their local hunters with them, but the local hunters had like Dane guns, while the herders had sophisticated weapons. He says, in fact, when he had asked one of the local hunters to shoot, his gun would not work. And by the time he turned, he saw that his colleagues had all fallen down there in pool of their own blood. He as well was shot. He says, okay, so there's a story that he disappeared from the scene. He said he did not disappear. He escaped. He ran, you know, away. But that yes, the shots when the guns were shot at them, it didn't penetrate his body. That one he accepted, but he didn't disappear. He just escaped from the area. He says this is something. Well, he implied that. He didn't say it. It just was implied that as much he did, that it didn't penetrate him, but he didn't disappear from that place.
Okay, no other story in Tribune. Okay, go ahead,
that
please.
was
800,000 naira.
Yes, so the house help that, you know, took over social media over the weekend, selling her boss's child. She had run away with the child, and then she was later found. She confessed to have sold the baby for 800,000, and the police went on that man according to the state PRO for the police, Benjamin, and they confirmed that on Monday that the buyer now, who is on the large now, but there's a manhunt for her or him, left the baby at the Alade market in Shomolu after the continuous search, after they heard of the search, and you know the baby has been rescued and reunited with her parents.
The buyer had the baby and was living with the baby, so people would know this person. So, have neighbors, family members.
That's all we can take on Front Page Review this morning. We're going to short break. When we come back, we're going to our next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
It's not just where, but who wouldn't you want to work with?
Yes, that's on that angle.
So Leifa had a very, very interesting
You wouldn't want to work with who?
Not
There's no
disrespect.
judgment.
No, and I
Oh, they'll
respect,
judge you
I
definitely,
respect
but we
this
won't judge
certain type of people. But what I dislike so much is when they tend to come to work and then they pour all their
Resentment from
on
home.
you. Is it me that offended you? I'm not the one. I have no business. Man, just come and work with you, pay me at the end of the month, and let me go back to my house in peace and sleep. But when it comes to like divorced people, I cannot work with a divorcee. I can't see myself doing that. If I find out, if you can hide it or not, but if I find out,
When they're nice divorcees.
I would just
What
be.
if they are nice?
Okay, now it depends. If you are nice, cool. But if you are the type that you don't know how to keep your anger to yourself, you always pour it on somebody. Well, I'll just drop my resignation letter, no matter the amount you are paying me.
So it's more passive aggressive people.
Yeah, I can't do it. I'm so sorry.
Oh, definitely.
And I cannot work with stingy people.
See this one.
Because you cannot be passing me in the morning, afternoon. I can say, oh, hi, yeah, I'm working. Oh, yeah, take 100 naira,
It's
take
your employer, not
10K,
your sugar
take
daddy,
15K.
no.
You don't have to be my sugar daddy or sugar mommy. See, the way you treat others is the way they will treat you outside. Yeah. And if you cannot treat your workers well, they are not a good boss. If you cannot be dashing me small thing or giving me donuts when I'm working, you are not a good person.
Ladies and gentlemen, multiple award-winning actor, producer, ambassador of Edo People, we have Etinosa Idemudia in the building.
Not be first to go police station, they win the case.
Okay.
So you are showing
No,
yourself.
I go see as my second
You are
question.
feeling like a contact the prancing peacock. I'm about to cut your wings. Hello? Now, in the amalgamation of 1914, who was the woman who drew the line of the amalgamation? Who cut the report? Who is the person that used scissors? What is his name?
That woman.
You have done me dirty. I've marked your face. If anything happened to me today,
I don't
if I don't reach my house. Anyway, I'm gonna be chauffeured, so.
You remember now, Avi? Yeah, but you never too thin. Now you remember.
Hey.
If a person who indulges habitually in watching a sexual material is called a voyeur.
That's what they're called.
It's clear so you don't go even get the next one.
Hey, a voyeur.
Voyeur.
Then go on.
What is a person who makes one
A
called?
voyeur. A voyagist. A bon voyage.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Gbenga Adeyinka the first. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Gbenga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the questions.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now one chance for enter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this. Because I have this question for you. Final question. No. Where outside Nigeria and what year? I think you're the only one that can be wicked.
I am thinking because I know back in the day.
Don't think. Answer my question quick. You are thinking too much. I don't like it.
The UK.
Final answer. Okay. I said, God, please, let me to perform outside Nigeria.
Wait.
And God gave me a show in Ghana. Drink, my friend, drink. I don't
overthink this thing. See where I can.
Yes, you overthink them.
I would say you should catwalk.
Let's catwalk now. Where are we?
No, that's not catwalking.
Thanks for staying with us and welcome to our sponsor segment. So join us on the show is the CEO of Cash Token Rewards Africa, Chief Lai Labode. He'll be speaking on the launch of a national rewards program that rewards customers across Nigeria with guaranteed life-changing cash rewards when they purchase goods and services from Nigerian companies. Welcome to the show, Chief.
Thank you very much.
To have you.
Thanks for having me.
When I heard Nigeria reward program, I'm thinking, what does that mean exactly? Let's even start. What does it mean and where did it come from?
So basically, of course, we know that times are really hard, and we all know the efforts of this administration to make things better. It's a bit tough, but it's also good to know that Nigerian companies are doing a whole lot. And part of what we have been able to achieve is that we have established the first country in Africa to establish a national reward for its residents and citizens, where every time you make a purchase, you are rewarded with what is called a Naija token. Okay. Now, what does that mean? You need to buy Nigerian first. Let's start with that. Now, when you patronize those Nigerian businesses, it means that those businesses become more prosperous. And as they become more prosperous, they are saying thank you to you by giving you the national reward, which is the national cash token. Now, that token, what it does is that as soon as you get one, you get an SMS. It's just your phone number that is needed. They don't need to ask you many questions. As long as you have a phone, that means you are registered. There's a name attached to that line, so we know who you are already. Instantly, you'll receive what is called guaranteed instant cash in your national reward wallet. That means all of you, all these ladies here, you're going to have one reward wallet for all businesses. So your rewards are not in silos. It's always cash. Nigerians love cash, I love cash, as you can see. Now, you also get something else, which is a ticket into a national consumer draw. You don't need to gamble. That draw is for 5,000 to 100 million every week. So in the last five years, we have given out almost 20 billion to Nigerians.
For real?
This cash is not Laila Bode's cash. It's not this Egba man's cash. It is money that has come from businesses that are being patronized. The likes of MTN, for example.
So as you're now, you've given out 20 billion already?
Yes, already. The last 5 years.
Where was I in this country?
In this country. So what has happened is that, Mr. Larry Gbajabiamila,
yes,
the Director General of the National Lottery Regulatory Commission, we came together and decided that what is the best thing we can give Nigerians at this time? And we decided to come together that instead of just the 200 businesses that we have today, why not all businesses in Nigeria? Then that brought us to the point where we established the national reward. Now it is that going forward, it should be all businesses. So it doesn't matter whether you're buying petrol, you're buying food, whatever you're doing, you're getting the same reward, and it's always cash in your wallet.
So it works like the loyalty points you get from shop.
Absolutely. Only this time it is cash.
So yes. So and then this one is all businesses.
Yeah, it will be all businesses.
It will be all businesses.
Yes.
So how the stakeholders, so that will be government, businesses, they come together. In what way were they part of the implementation and the design of this program? Okay.
So basically, we are regulated by the National Lottery Regulatory Commission, even though our company, Cash Token Rewards Africa, is not a lottery company.
Okay.
We're a cash reward as a service. We're what is called a reward tech company. Like you have fintech, you now have reward tech. Now, they have seen the impact of our program in the private sector for 5 years. It means that we have proven that it works. So you have people all over Lagos, all over Nigeria, winning money. Let me talk to you about someone from Shagamu Market who won 10 million naira. What did she do? She just patronized MTN. MTN rewarded her with the MTN cash token rewards. She won 10 million naira. What did she do? She was able to expand her business. She was able to send her kids to school. Nigerians are getting out of shame because of these rewards. So it is that the money is put from all businesses into a single pot. So on a Friday night, Lalale Friday, we call it, you have a billion naira in the pot. That is the money that goes to Nigerians. So it is contributed by businesses that have been patronized. And that's what we actually...
So how exactly would the purchase of goods and services be linked to cash rewards? Because every day they say Nigerians don't produce anything. Everything is foreign people. And I'm wondering what exactly will qualify as a Nigerian business?
Okay, so let's put it this way. As long as the business is in Nigeria and it can touch Nigerian lives, that means people's salaries are paid, people are getting prosperous, it's a Nigerian business. That's what it is. Somebody was arguing the other time and said, MTN is not Nigerian. I said, no, MTN is a Nigerian business. MTN is here. Nigerians have been employed, a lot of things are going on, our lives are impacted, you know, it's a Nigerian business.
Their money.
Yes, they take, of course, if you do business here, this government is encouraging money to come into the country. And the government is trying to make everybody comfortable. Bring your money here, it's a good place to invest your money. That's what the government is doing. So we're not going to say one business is not this, one business is not that. Of course, we're patronizing local businesses. If you look at Itoku Market in Abeokuta now, there's a lot of Adire. There are some Chinese things coming in there. We say, hey, Chinese people can sell Chinese stuff. There are also Nigerians gaining from it. But that's a heritage market, as the case may be. So they can sell, but as long as you're selling in Nigeria and Nigerians can benefit, you will get rewarded for it.
So, Dr. Komina, I have a question.
So I wanted to find out the stakeholders, because my first thought is, I'm a business owner, how do I jump on this? But I also know that many Nigerians watching, we tend to be very skeptical. So we want to know who are the stakeholders, who are the businesses, the citizens involved in designing this program.
So first of all, let me give you a little bit about myself. I'm a business logic expert. I've been trained locally and I've been trained internationally. And we are leading a new generation of what we call socially smart business models. And I argue anywhere in the world that what Africa really needs now are a new generation of socially smart business models, which is a marriage of successful enterprises and social development. It's deliberate. So while we can make a lot of money, let's connect it directly to impact. So when we're talking about your national reward, it's not based on charity. If you cannot patronize a business in Nigeria, you're not going to get it. And you cannot buy it like a lottery. It is that you must buy Nigerian to get it. Now, I want you to imagine what we're doing with the National Lottery Regulatory Commission, Ministry of Finance, and of course FIRS ultimately in this. It is that we can push out to Nigerians between 2.6 trillion and 5.2 trillion without borrowing. Now, that is big, because it's a $500 billion economy. We're talking about purchasing things in Nigeria. Imagine when you don't have to borrow. So this is homegrown innovation working with the federal government.
You better. Anything not important. If you are a Nigerian individual, just and you go to a place, a business situated in Nigeria, and you make purchases. You know, some people buy tissue paper from abroad.
Of course.
So they will deliberately say it's tissue paper from a shop from abroad.
Okay.
So are those the people your business is not for? Are they for those who just, you know, shop and buy everything in Nigeria? And,
okay, so let me put it this way. The National Lottery Regulatory Commission, for working with other agencies, the plan is to ensure that everything you can buy in Nigeria, don't forget that every money spent here impacts some Nigerian life. So if somebody is selling some tissue made in Paris, in some store in Lagos, you know, the person selling is a Nigerian, right? Making some money to feed his family or her family and all of that. Nigerian lives have been touched already.
Yes.
So you get rewarded for it. That's the strategy. Now, the way we have also done this, working with the Lottery Commission, and it's important to see what government is also doing. They are basically looking at the best of the private sector to collaborate. The true heroes of the economy are entrepreneurs. So a government that decides to start tying things with the private sector is really smart. Now, imagine a time shortly, which is what you're going to see. We have tested this for 5 years in the private sector. It has worked. We have a long list of Nigerians from all mobile networks, from different businesses, the MasterCards of this world and the likes, who have already benefited. But a time where it is now everything you buy. Now, that is big. So imagine the money that the government, you know, has been pushing out to help Nigerians, about 1.2 trillion naira. Imagine the next level with this, where you're talking 2.6 to 5.2 trillion, and we didn't borrow it. What the government has really done is to look at the private sector, let's have a partnership and make this happen. Now, let me tell you one big deal that's also going on. Mr. Larry Gbajabi Amila, and we cannot emphasize the amount of work that he's done with us on this. It is that the push also is that every time a Nigerian business actually pushes out, buys the national reward to offer their customers, it should also become an allowable expense. Meaning that at the end of the year, you can take that out of your taxes. Now, imagine that you have helped that business grow. It means that government will get more taxes from him, right? You have expanded the tax net because more Nigerians are actually paying on everything they actually buy. You're paying VAT. That means there's more money for government to actually do more. Now, you're also building what is called public emotional equity for government. Today, you have a lot of people suffering. People are really crying all over the place. But imagine the kind of succor that comes to you when you patronize the Nigerian business, and we're sharing, Nigerians love to share money. Every Friday, we're sharing so much money across the country, and we have not borrowed it, neither has it come from gambling.
So how do you start? Well, what's the starting point? So now you told us about this.
Yes.
So I go to the market. and I'm looking to buy this. How do I benefit? How do I get my token? How do I subscribe?
So let me put it this way. The launch is shortly. We're part of this is part of the campaign. We're launching the national reward shortly. But today, if you were to buy, I'm sure you have mobile numbers, apparently. If you have MTN, you can dial *6700 hash. Right now, any airtime you buy, you're going to get rewarded for. MTN has been giving out cash tokens for like 4 years, and they have taught a lot of Nigerian lives. Airtel is doing the same. Glow started. They just came back. We're very happy to hear that the management at the very highest level have decided that the way to go is the cash token, the national reward now. So they have just come back. We've just signed a new agreement. They're back fully on this. It is that today already, if you bought airtime from those, if you dial that code and buy airtime, you get the cash tokens already. But for the national reward, the launch is shortly. Of course, we're trying to get the Minister is working to get the President's attention so that we know the data is ready for the launch. It's a big launch. You're going to have captains of industry seated around the place. You have the minister seated because this is the first time anywhere in Africa where a government will have a national reward. And it's a big deal. So it's a partnership. It's a tripod relationship between the government, the people, and all businesses. So every business is like an agent of government, giving back to Nigerian people because they have patronized Nigerian businesses. And that's...
So please, is it...
We all, absolutely.
Okay, so I just also want to understand, is it going to be a code? Is it a card? Do I walk into, and then, what other businesses? Are there also small businesses that can be part of this?
Part of what we've done, I remember Mr. Wajawamila emphasizing that, we need to make sure that this goes down the line. And I said to him that, absolutely no problem. We have what is called a national reward card. It's a scratch card. So imagine a Silifa that is selling Boli, She knows that she cannot give you a national reward except you have spent 1,000 naira with her. So she sets a threshold. It's not charity. It's business, really. They know that you must spend that amount. Now, you spent 1,000 naira buying Boli from Silifa. Okay. She doesn't do any major integrations. All she does is to, Aburo, come over here, and they'll give you a scratch card. You just take it, scratch it, and load it on your phone like you're loading airtime. Instantly, you get your reward. You see your money.
Oh, so she determines who she gives that national reward based on
volume of what you buy. That is why it is
sustainable.
Why
not she pegs the volume? Okay, if it's 1,000, if I spend 1,000, I give her card.
She will give you card me that.
Not that she will give her Bora.
No, she has to
card
give you.
Me. I spent
you know what? It's so beautiful to be in the midst of beautiful women. That you ask the right questions. Silifa is a businesswoman.
Yes.
Women are very responsible. That's why I say a lot of times when you give women, you see that the money spreads to the family. Silifa knows that she has to sell up to 1,000 naira before she can give her one. One national reward costs 50 naira. So she has done the calculation. Every business does the calculation.
Oh, she pays for the national card.
No, she pays. She has taken from her profits
to
say thank you to
encourage purchase.
Okay. So I, as a business owner, I sell clothes, for example. I manufacture, I sell clothes.
Yes.
So I'll come to you to buy 10,000 naira worth of scratch cards to encourage my customers. As a give back. So they are coming to me because you bought 10,000 naira worth of take one scratch card. I give you so you can come back to me next time. And that scratch card now earns you money from the national reward. It's just understanding. Just getting it.
Because I'm just wondering if you give Silifa the cards, she will determine what she wants to give.
No, but it will not help her business because so there's a need. That's brilliant.
One of the big four, let me put it that way, said that there is nothing smarter than the national reward at this time for Nigeria, where the government does not have to borrow, where this is just a single policy stroke, and all Nigerians can benefit. So it's amazing.
Can you break down the estimated projection of impact?
Okay, so let me put it this way. So you have a $500 billion economy. That's the Nigerian economy for you today. Let's even just take 10% of that. That is rewardable. So the amount of money we're talking about that goes back to Nigerians is not money coming from any of our pockets. It's coming from the businesses that are making money. So when we say 2.6, somebody says, like, you don't know how to call big numbers. But I mean, we cannot call it a smaller number because this is real. When you say 2.6 to 5.2 trillion, it is money that has come from all businesses all together combined back to Nigerians.
But it's not everybody that gets the money. It's only those that are picked.
Okay, so good question once again. Let me put it this way. I mentioned earlier that two things will happen when you get a national reward. The first is that you will get instant cash in your wallet.
Yes.
That's guaranteed for everybody.
Okay.
But the draw for the 5K to 100 million naira, everybody will not win. But you have thousands of Nigerians who win every week. Lalale Friday is Faji across the country, and it's sustainable because it is not based on charity.
Gotcha.
That's what it is.
Gotcha. So if Yasilifa does it, and Yasikira is not doing it, and then Yasilifa keep getting customers, Yasikira is like, let me to go and get my own so that I can reward. Okay, all right, interesting. Sounds interesting. We'll see how it works. Wishing you all the best, and see how we can. Well, once it's socially acceptable, they will definitely bring it back to.
We should thank the Nigerian government for this. We should thank Mr. Gbajebamila for this. And of course, at a time like this where Nigerians are really suffering, I want you to know that there's a lot that the government is doing. There's a lot coming, and be prepared for it. Buy Nigerian, of course, win in Nigeria.
This your outfit is one
buy Nigeria.
This one is Nigerian.
This is the outfit
you
of
guys,
man.
you guys need to see this. Okay, all right. Thank you. Let's go on a short break now. We come back. We want our next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table. So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
Ike Chonde Okonkwo, aka Cross. Now your intro without
Wow.
So there's a name that thing that's.
I'm just drinking because you said I should drink. There's no particular answer.
You think it's only that can be wicked?
What's the answer?
Subterfuge.
Eh?
Yeah. They claim you did, but you said it just happened. That
And it's called what again?
Subterfuge.
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 So you look me finish from head to toe. You look at a person who go know what to become such. Yeah?
The nude wasn't like a game plan. Or...
I promise you, it was actually.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas.
It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty, erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Come more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni Yeni Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger,
Take it.
Today we'll go here.
Hey, I don't read you.
Are you sure?
Ha. I'm not here to answer questions. I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
I
said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born till 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It don't start.
Ọmọ ọmọ fẹlá. Ọmọ Aníkúlá Pókùtì. Wọ́n rò pé kí ni kékeré yìí.
It's by Audison. It's not by Audison.
Thanks for staying with us. So, as the Super Eagles of Nigeria gear up for the semi-final battle with the Bafana team of South Africa, our sports correspondent Adeyemo is currently in Ivory Coast and will be giving us some live updates from the Super Eagles camp as they wrap up preparations for Wednesday's football match. However, whilst we're trying to get in touch with Adeyemi, the information we got from an advisory, the High Commission of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that's the advisory on safe conduct for Nigerians in South Africa before, during, and after the 2024 AFCON match between Super Eagles and Bafana. So there was a letter written out to Nigerians. It says that the Nigerian High Commission in Pretoria has been drawn to potentially inflammatory online comments made by section of the South African citizens against Nigerians, especially because towards the match, tomorrow's match. According to them, most of the comments consist of veiled threats against Nigerians cooking jollof rice before the match and showing pepper to Nigerians if the Bafana lose the match tomorrow. So they're just asking Nigerians to stay out of crowded areas. If you're in South Africa, they're your hosts, so be careful what you say in engaging conversations concerning the match. But this is quite worrisome for the Nigerian Commission itself to actually write officially to Nigerians. So you can't say you do not hear. They have told you to stay safe. We know there's excitement in the air, there's competition, but why does competition all have to end this way of violence, anger, aggression? You know, people having these kind of issues. Why must it end this way all the time? Is that history?
History. That happened before. You know, I did not even know the word xenophobia existed until it happened. So I matched it in my memory. Imagine me now having a chance going to the stadium to watch a Nigerian-South Africa match in South Africa. I'll be telling that child, remember the other day, the way our grandfathers used to say, we don't even marry from some people, some tribes, just because of one experience. That's why I'll be advising the child. Put your eyes down, let your head correct, and all of those things. That's the only thing I think Nigerians are afraid of, because, you know, even their governments cannot sit on top of their emotions when these things happen.
My own government doesn't have our own emotions.
No, have you ever heard Nigerians after a match beat any country? You know, there our history, but it have happened that we were beating other African countries. People were called Nigerians. Pictures looked gory. Okay. And it happened for weeks, and it couldn't be handled by government.
Let me pause our conversation, because I'm told our correspondent is ready for us on Ivory Coast. Good morning, Mr. Adeyemi. Are you there?
Good morning, Moriah. Good morning, Moriah.
Yeah, so good to hear from you. So how is it coming?
Looks so happy.
It's been wonderful. It's business as usual. It's calm, it's cool here. It's just past 9 this morning, and everything is going on smoothly.
All right, so have you seen the Super Eagles at all since you've got there? Or are you seeing them today?
They had their train. Yeah, no, not today. They traveled last night after dinner, but they had a training session on Monday. It's a behind closed door training session, but we're able to interact with them, and they are high on confidence. They are looking forward to the game on Wednesday in Bouaké. They departed 10 p.m. after dinner last night. It's 45 minutes from Abidjan to Bouaké. So they are already in Bouaké. They will be having a press conference 11 a.m. this morning. We'll be having the coach, Joseph Pesero, and Kelechi Iheanacho at the press conference this morning in Bouaké. But Sime is a doubt. Sime didn't travel with them last night. He has an abdominal medical issue. So the medical team are with him in Abidjan here, and hoping he recovers, then he can fly down to Abidjan later today.
Do you have an idea what the press briefing is about later on at 11 o'clock? Do you have an idea?
Yeah, the press briefing is about the upcoming game on Wednesday. Hopefully tactics to be used. If he's going to change his formation from his usual 3-4-3 formation or 4-3-3 formation, because Victor Osimhen is in doubt at the moment. So if Victor Osimhen is in doubt at the moment, then of course the formation can be reshuffled. So the press conference is more about players who are eligible to play or players who are in doubt.
Okay, but for those of us at home, you know, we know that our country is going to meet with, we'll call them our nemesis, our arch rivals, and we're wondering what the atmosphere is like. Is it hospitable? Is it exciting? Or are there any concerns about how it may turn out?
The Ivorians have been accommodating. There's no hostile situation here. To be very honest with you, good road networks, good infrastructures, 24 hours light.
Hey.
So it has been lovely with them. 24 hours light. I think this is the first time.
Are you shading Nigeria?
This is the first time. I must say, this is the first time in my life I will enjoy 24 hours light. I am not scared. I am not scared for my battery to run down at 1%.
Mr. Reporter,
when Nigeria corners and you are shading us.
In terms of security, it's been on point. 24/7. They even give us a card. If we have any issue, we should call on those numbers. They will answer us immediately.
Okay, good.
So it is quite different. It is quite different here from back home.
I don't think he's coming back home.
Immigration will not open door for you.
Coming back home.
Immigration will not open door for you. Be shading Nigeria.
Yeah, an average no, I'm not shading Nigeria. An average Ivorian is ready to help you, even though they don't speak English smoothly. But at least they can pick from your words that, okay, what do you want? You're Nigerian. What do you want? The Nigerian contingent here, they've made it easier for us to be able to settle in.
That's good to know.
We have the Igbos, the Yorubas, all tribes trading peacefully here.
Fantastic.
And I think the value, I must say this, the value of their CFA is way higher than our naira.
Oh.
I don't know if I'm sorry to say that. But,
I think they'll give you Ivorian citizenship.
Ambassador, brand ambassador for Cote d'Ivoire.
They'll give you a wife, just so since you are so comfortable with them.
Yeah, the exchange rate changes like almost every moment. As at yesterday, because I can't say I was today, as at yesterday, the exchange rate was at 1,000 sefa to 2,240 naira. As at yesterday.
Wow.
Okay, so pressure Tiwa.
Okay.
Let me take us back to football, sir. 240. Let me take you back to football. Let me take you back to football because pressure Tiwa, like people are
serious pressure.
There's pressure because people are looking at it that Osimhen's stomach and the fact that a lot of Nigerians are expecting that he's one of our strongest strength, you know, and we're now looking at entering this match without him is worrisome. What has when you listen to the players, how have they communicated, knowing that, what's the language you hear from them, what's the energy they carry, knowing that they might not have Osimhen on the team?
Yeah. Actually, the news broke last night. So, despite that, the players are still confident because it has been a team game all along. Osimhen just has maybe one goal. So, in as much as it's important to our attack, at the same time, it's a team game. They are ready to work together. They are ready to make sure we don't feel the absence of Victor Osimhen. Okay. Yes, it's the biggest man we have up front. It's the strongest man we have up front. If anybody is coming in for him, they know that they have to match his strength, match his ability, match his technicality, and make sure they even prove what Osimhen can do even beyond it.
So the Ivorians kind of share history with us, and who would you think that the Ivorians will be supporting this match against the Southern Africans?
Definitely the Nigerians. Definitely the Nigerians, because we have a large Nigerian, let's just say 60%. Nigerian based in here in Abidjan.
So we expect to hear a lot of our choruses at the stadium.
Definitely, they are because they even want us to be in the final. I must say that. Yesterday, we were discussing at the media center with some Ivorian journalists. They want us to be in the final because we're in the group stage and we'll beat them 1-0. Yeah. So it's more like they want to exact the revenge on us. So they are rooting for us. Right. They are supporting us for in the finals so they can beat us.
So have you seen South African fans? What's the energy like? Do you have an opportunity to see any of the South African fans around?
Yeah, some of their journalists, they're also high on hopes because they are even praying, hopefully, if they can't beat us in 90 minutes, we go to the penalty because the heroic performance their keeper Williams performed in their last game. They are banking on his strength for him to be able to sail them through. But I always tell them, I said, I'm not sure we'll go to the penalties. We'll beat you in 90 minutes. So let's just hope for the 90 minutes and we don't go to the penalties.
Okay, all right. So thank you. I mean, I'll let you go now, but I'm happy that you've given us 2 prayer points, which is Victor Osimhen and the keeper for South Africa, to God should weaken him in any way. So we have 2 key prayer points that we got from this. Yes, these 2 key prayer points, so that between today and tomorrow, God should restore Victor Osimhen and God should weaken that keeper.
This is our God.
So that's fantastic.
That would be the biggest prayer point.
Yes. I've said it on TV, so people can go straight to the mountain. Thank you very much, Yanni, for joining us this morning. But so it was good to just hear from.
All right, thank you very much. Merci, merci. Thank you.
Oh wow, you're speaking French now. I want you.
This guy is also back.
He's very patriotic Nigerian.
The guy don't finish Nigeria.
I'm telling you.
Thank you.
He's not outside the East.
Au revoir. Disconnect, please. Thank you. Let's go on a short break. This guy is not coming back to Nigeria.
He's 34 hours security. We had.
But is this in the background of the picture?
It's still Nigeria now. Calm down.
Please.
Calm down. It's still Africa.
We will have to go to some interior villages to be shooting from that kind of place. Just our brothers. Just in the influence of the Nigeria
we are happy for their power solution.
Now we see, I'm happy now. We don't have to compare ourselves to America, and we can compare it to Cote d'Ivoire.
They don't have our
In Cote d'Ivoire, they have 24 hours live.
How many they
Now we can use
How
it.
many?
No excuse.
No excuse.
Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll now discuss this matter of South Africa. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
This is 7 of 7 into my hands tonight on this social experiment called the 7 of 7. It's Owen G. What is the name, or what was the name? You see, I want to make them better now.
Rock Heart.
No, of the goats when they brought it on stage.
The name of that goat.
Yeah.
We should go there.
No, that one easy now.
I'm just drinking this so that I can ask him my own questions. It's not because of
Buga.
he didn't get it. You know, you people, you know. Okay. Mention 10 female stand-up comedians in Nigeria. See, just mention their stage name. If you annoy me, you will mention their real names and the year they started. And if you annoy me further, you mention the names of their husbands and the names of their children. Try me now. Okay, mention their name.
No, let's just.
No, wait. No, don't. No. Name, real name, stage name, husband name, children name. 10 of them.
Even the 10. That's a lot.
Eh?
That's a lot.
Did I cut your question for you?
Yes.
When you were happy now. With your hunchback.
That was it.
You are wasting time. We don't have time. See, my brother, before we go on a commercial break, you are stubborn. And I told you since. The fact that you play this your hair does not mean. You understand? See this bad hair you are looking at. It's experience. I've suffered before you.
But I try now.
When you there during the military era of Abacha and Babangida, you know what happened?
I be Gen Z.
So that Gen Z, I will remove 4 out of 10.
That's like
4 out of 10 they pass exam. Don't drink this thing. Where baby you are on here. Drink am. If I land you.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still talking about the match tomorrow, Super Eagles and Bafana Bafana of South Africa. And we're referencing the letter that was written to Nigerians living in South Africa to be very careful because of all the threats and vile comments that has been on social media in that region. So the commission has asked Nigerians to stay out of trouble. Maybe they advise them to watch the match in their homes and not at beer parlors. Don't engage in conversations with people, regardless of what happens. Either they win or we lose, or we win and they lose. Either way, just don't engage anyone in that conversation. What are your thoughts on this warning?
Wisdom.
It's profitable to direct.
Wisdom is profitable to direct. I think that when you find yourself in a situation where it's not your territory, it is important. They say when chicken reach place where no, you go raise one leg up because you are also watching what is going on. So, football evokes emotions, and it is important that we understand that just as passionate as you are, so also is the South Africans are equally passionate, and they have history, like Nima reminded us, of acting out that passion
Mm-hmm.
against fellow Africans. Let me put it that way. So it is wisdom for Nigerians to gather in their small areas without publicly announcing, oh, we're going to be doing our Nigerian jollof and football. Because you see, I saw some online, we are going to gather here and do Nigerian jollof and football. We are going to smash Bafana. Inside which country? You're not in your country. So I think I'm happy that we are having this letter come out ahead. And people should not brag or be bloat or whatever, because you don't even know how the match would go. We're praying that we win. But whatever happens, keep a low profile, because you are not in your territory, you are not in your country, you are in another person's country, and you should respect them. It's just normal. Yeah. Respect the country where you are if you want to continue to enjoy the benefits of that place. Okay, so on the one hand, I would say it's good advice to give Nigerians so that you protect yourself, you know, and don't find yourself, so that you don't get caught up in any violence that may erupt. But it's also quite a shame to South Africa, really, that you would not allow your Africans to enjoy the football. Their victory. To enjoy their victory, imagine if South Africa wins, that vuvuzela sound. You know how they are, wherever they are in the world, they will deafen you with that, and you will appreciate it, and then, you know, and be part of it and dance with them. But now you want to stop Nigerians from expressing their happiness. I think it's a shameful thing. But we know them, as you said, xenophobia, they always call South Africa. But I hope that they use this opportunity to rethink and relearn. A lot of violence will happen on social media. Are they going to come on social media, trace the people that will be saying things, and trace them home to Nigeria? Because if the ones in South Africa are not able to express themselves, Nigerians will express themselves. And it just also sends the wrong message, because when people, in the beginning, it will be, you know, we're going to celebrate this victory, or we're going to celebrate this loss, or however it is. Now, you're going to make people think of this match with this behind their minds. So you've taken out the joy already. I think it's good that we have won Nigerians, but I think South Africa needs to really talk to themselves about how they carry on, especially against Nigerians.
But even as Africans, let's even leave South Africa or Nigeria out of this. Like, yeah, Africans in general, shouldn't we be responsible in our celebrations? Because we all do it. Even Nigerians do it. They can get really violent on social media. I mean, when we are celebrating ourselves, we are united. But when it's something else, the way the vitriol that comes out of Nigerians, the kind of things they say, the kind of words they use. So it's not just South African thing, but I think we as Africans should also have some kind of sense of responsibility.
You see, the South African vuvuzela is what I know about their loudness. But Nigerians, even in support, have you seen Africa with the 1994 World Cup? I remember clearly. I met the supporters club training. That was when I knew Nigerians, how vibrant we can be. They had all the choruses from every region. They were loud dancing, and they do their own training as their boys are training on the pitch. You now say that when they win, they should not off volume.
You off volume in your you on volume in your country and off volume where it's not safe.
No, country. Wherever you win, it's like the Olympics. No, let me finish. Wherever you win, celebrate the way you celebrate
in your country.
Yes, it is also culture, because those people don't go there in the clothes of those people. They come in Nigerian outfits. I saw them. You know, I would like to see them again as an adult. They come in their full Nigerian regalia. So imagine that the Nigerians now want, they now left all the boys to just, it will be a dull. In fact, they will be misrepresenting the country.
No.
We cannot, we need to learn tolerance.
Wear your clothes. They're saying in South Africa.
If Nigeria was hosting any World Cup and another country won, would we tell them to off celebration?
Because Nigeria...
Because we are scared. We know that the evil here is that, you know, some people get too emotional in loss of victory and, you know, do worse things. We cannot now say the other person, you know, just disappear from it. Yes, it's wisdom, it's wise advice. That other person, she won't be talking to the bully.
We need to be talking to the
intolerant one.
Let me take this call. Shala, you're live. Thanks for calling. Morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone in the studio. Yeah. Please, Muriah, I don't know if I will be permitted. I just want to make mention of one of the stories you took during the newspaper review. This Theophilus Boeing Foundation. Yeah. You see, that story is genuine. Very, very genuine. I am one of the victims that fall victim of that man. I remember some time ago last year, I wanted to get in touch with you through Tokwe, I think she misunderstood me then. I wanted to get your contact because we wanted to bring the agitation against this man on your program, not for free. Actually, we wanted to pay for it, but she misunderstood me that time. I couldn't get through with you. You see, that man, car is a big fraudster. So many churches have collapsed because of this man. So many marriages are broken. So
the show is not for bringing issues against individuals. You can't do that here. That was why I told him. You can't. The process is to get to EFCC. Now that EFCC has formalized the case against him, when he gets to the news, we can talk about it. Yes. It's not a platform for reporting anybody that defrauds you.
Yeah, we can get sued just in case the allegations are frivolous. Yeah, so yeah, so we're continuing the conversation. Well, we're going to be wrapping up very soon, but I think really the thing is Nigerians living in South Africa, as much as Nima believes that you should celebrate, but do so within your neighborhood or within your house. Do the cultural celebration.
It's like when you go to, if you are living in Middle Eastern countries and you know that private citizens that are not Muslims still drink their alcohol or whatever, but you will not go outside during fasting during the day. In a fasting period in an Islam country. You will now eat food openly during the day. You don't do that. No, they will not get violent, they will arrest you. This place, they will get violent. So don't we do blasphemy?
Apples and oranges here. This is not the same thing. We're talking about football. And the reason why it is specifically South Africa is because South Africa is known to have such violent tendencies, especially towards Nigerians. Let's not make it, an African issue or a football issue. It's because they are afraid that in South Africa, they may look for any reason to attack Nigerians. You may say, okay, they should not celebrate, but they may go somewhere because they are wearing Nigerian colors, get in trouble. So I'm hoping that the South African government is also paying attention to protect Nigerians who will be going about their normal duties, watching their football and acting normally as any football fan would. So I'm expecting South African government will protect Nigerians as well.
Sorry, especially because South Africans like to pride on their tourism sector. This is the more reason you must learn to tolerate other people. You can't be taking money for tourism and be intolerant of the people coming to your country. Some people are just, there maybe for a holiday and watching the match and wearing their jerseys because they wear them to watch the match in Nigeria. Someone in South Africa says, truly, there's no 100% bad anywhere in the world. But the situation is like sitting on a gunpowder. It can get volatile at the slightest provocation. So yes, person will still tell the Peking to make sure no and firm when you're in South Africa. And said, the reality, my dear sister, is that that's the reality. Sometimes some people would deny the reality of what confronts migrants here. But trust me, I will tell you that we walk on eggshells. We don't talk about it, especially while you're still here. Things can escalate easily. Those are not positive feedbacks.
Let me take this call from George. He's been holding. Good morning, George. You're live.
Good morning, Morayo, and good morning to all the ladies.
Good morning.
Yes, if you ask me, Morayo, that letter that the government wrote was a diplomatic error. You can't tell a man how to express himself when he's happy. This issue of xenophobia by South Africans, it didn't start today. It's been there. And what the government has done by writing that letter is to intimidate its own citizens. Supposing South Africa wins that match, are you going to tell the South Africans living in Nigeria not to celebrate in the South African way? There's no way you can do that. If the government should actually pull its weight by putting South Africa where they belong. You can't intimidate my citizens while you have your own citizens in my country. And now I'm advising my citizens, please, limit your happiness. It's not naturally possible.
Okay, so Mr. George, let me just
Thank you, Mr. George.
Yes, so Mr. George, so I understand the sentiment, but it is wise and it's important that the Nigerian government is doing that. What I would expect is a response from the South African government assuring us of our safety while in South Africa to enjoy our, to enjoy football. So that is what we should be expecting from South Africa here in Nigeria too. Whoever their commission what do you call them?
Yeah.
The ambassadors. I hope that we're having a conversation with them today concerning our concerns about Nigerians in South Africa towards the match that is going to happen tomorrow. So those are the sort of conversations I see that will come from them. But on our own side, Nigeria, we have to do what we can. And in this case, that's the best that we can do to protect them. South Africa needs to show us that, you know, we're not in this alone and that they are there to protect us as well.
I think the Nigerian government was also very proactive in sending this letter. So
America does it a lot. I mean, when
every time
they will send those memos to their citizens and say, okay, don't go to this part of Nigeria, don't go to this part of Nigeria. Whether we agree or not, they have to do that. And then you hear the Nigerian government say they have nothing to be scared of or nothing to fear.
Yes, I agree that, you know, but Nigerians, just because, you know, the advisory is there, but the advisory will not be following you around in South Africa. You know, use your tongue to count your teeth. They have a history. That's all.
I'm counting my teeth already. Because me, I don't understand that proverb.
No, like being aware.
You say just be aware.
Somebody is sitting down.
Are we not Africans? We speak in proverbs.
I'm just saying, though. I'm just saying.
Auntie, count your teeth, your tongue.
I'm
look around you.
Be
at alert.
So not all of us understand. So explain to us.
I have broken it down.
I'm grateful for
we have to wrap
Nigerian
up.
consular. I am happy that some Nigerians feel like, no, you cannot tell us how to behave. Inside which country? You are in your own country, you can behave anyhow. In your own house. It is in your own house you can eat onidodo. You can eat anything you want to eat. But when you are in another country, under another person's economy, enjoying the largesse of their being open to you, you would also respect yourself. And we're hoping that at some point in time, they will learn the lesson Mariam is telling them to.
I really need to take this one.
Go ahead.
Don't be deceived, sis. When trouble brews, they see it as South Africans attack Nigerians. Law enforcement agents walk away. Government has turned a blind eye to the aftermath of the love-hate relationship, more passive than you'd expect. So now we want to hear clearly from the government what they are issuing to their people as against anybody found carrying out any attack in the name of any guys or anything.
Okay.
I want to see what they will do.
I think that's all we can take. Wishing the Super Eagles the best tomorrow, and we've taken out 2 prayer points so that we'll be okay for tomorrow's match.
Please.
Just a reminder, Victor Sime, we're waiting for the press briefing to let us know. Hopefully, by God's special grace, he'll be strong enough for the match. But I'm going to put that in prayer. And secondly, we heard that South Africa performed very well, but their keeper was very strong. So that's their strength. So we're asking that Lord will help us
break the strength of our enemies.
Yes, break the strength, weaken him. Especially
the third one. There's a third one. The fire of the Holy Ghost protect Nigerians in South Africa.
Amen.
Mariam,
all right. Let's go on a break. When we return, we move to our hot topic of today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the grand comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Gbenga Adeyinka the First. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Gbenga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the question.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now one chance for enter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this. Because I have this question for you. Final question. No. Where outside Nigeria and what year? Think you're the only one that can be wicked.
I am thinking, because I know back in the day.
Don't think. Answer my question quick. You are thinking too much. I don't like it.
The UK.
Final answer. Okay. I said, God, please, let me to perform outside Nigeria.
Wait.
And God gave me a show in Ghana. Drink, my friend, drink. I know.
I don't overthink this thing. See where I can.
Yes, you overthink them.
I would say you should catwalk.
Let's catwalk now. Where are we?
No, that's not catwalking.
That's good walking.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
It's not just where, but who wouldn't you want to work with?
Yes, that's on that angle.
So Laifa had a very, very interesting...
You wouldn't want to work with who?
There's no judgment.
No, and I
they'll
respect,
judge you
I
definitely,
respect
but we won't
this
judge
certain
you.
type of people. But what I dislike so much is when they tend to come to work and then they pour all their
resentment from
on you. Is it me that offended you? I'm not the one. I have no business. Mom just come and work with you, pay me at the end of the month and let me go back to my house in peace and sleep. But when it comes to like divorced people, I cannot work with a divorcee. I can't see myself doing that. If I find out, if you can hide it or not, but if I find out,
when they're nice divorcees,
I would just
What if they are nice?
Okay, now it depends. If you are nice, cool. But if you are the type that you don't know how to keep your anger to yourself, you always pour it on somebody. Well, I'll just drop my resignation letter, no matter the amount you are paying me.
So it's more passive-aggressive people.
Yeah, I can't do it. I'm so sorry.
Oh, definitely.
And I cannot work with stingy people.
See this one.
Because you cannot be passing me in the morning, afternoon. I can say, oh, hi, yeah, I'm working. Oh, yeah, take 100 naira, take 10K, take 15K. You don't have to be my sugar daddy or sugar mommy. See, the way you treat others is the way they will treat you outside. Yeah. And if you cannot treat your workers well, they are not a good boss. If you cannot be dashing me small thing or giving me donuts when I'm working, you are not a good person.
Thanks for staying with us. So there was a video that caught our attention online about a young boy seen spraying money to another young boy. So obviously it was that a young boy was having his birthday party, and one of his rich friends, or maybe from a rich family, came around and was spraying him money. And this then, of course, there was a post, somebody sent a post saying that this type of habit should not be encouraged in schools, especially children and minors. And it was quite disturbing to see this kid. So the one boy was sitting on the chair while the other boy was spraying him, and I think it was 200 naira new notes, throwing it at him carelessly. Now, this then brings the conversation of the liberties we allow our children to have, especially when we have money, or we are well-to-do, or we have access, or we have some kind of I'm trying to find the right word. Wealthy people have this kind of liberties they allow their kids. So some people have had the conversation concerning allowing a 5-year-old to be in first class. These are conversations people are always having. Is it right for you to have kids on private jets? Because if I have a private jet, shouldn't you teach your children to have some kind of restraint, even though you have this thing? So in the same reasoning, your kid's friend is his birthday party, and you have a lot of money. Hey, take 20,000 naira. Just go and spray your friends. It's his birthday party. What are your thoughts on this? You can call us on 081-0764-1679-090241634440. You can also tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YOURVIEWTVC so we can read the tweet. The reason why I brought in the first class one, because people always judge others that, okay, listen, we work really hard, to get to this point. And these are things we aspire as children. But when you expose a child so early, and people say, Copy was born probably into first class, and she's okay, she's responsible, she's doing great things. So do we still judge kids based on these liberties, wealthy families, or I'm trying to find another word. Privileged, yes, that's probably privileged families give their children. So this obviously is a child from a privileged home that is allowing him to, hey, spray his friends. Let's start with Nima. Nima, take us to an angle.
That we allow kids do. That some people had some things they missed as children, where your self-worth starts to become an issue, and so you fill it up when you get the opportunity in life. You get some money, you fill it up, make excuses. I lacked shoes, so I buy a full wardrobe of shoes, even though I only need a pair. I lived in a room with my parents, so I need a big house, even though I can only sleep in one room and on one bed. And that deficiency that you did not recognize, you now think it's okay to pass it down.
And to leave it through your children.
Because your kids now don't have they didn't suffer what you suffered. They could have, you could have left them to just, design a better life from what they have and what they lacked. But you're making it seem, because some adults is in the video, as I'm watching it, passing the cash continuously, whereas they could have bought a birthday gift, come for a 10-year-old birthday and act normal. But yes,
okay. All right.
But the person thought, no, you have to show off. There are other children there who probably came with birthday gifts. The boy was seen spraying the birthday boy and going to the band and spraying the band as a 10-year-old kilo.
The learned behavior.
So what's normal? That's the thing. What's normal? What's normal to me is different from what's normal to Nima. What's normal to me is different from what's normal to Mariam. There are the universals of life, being kind, being humane. Those are universals. But what's normal differs. I didn't necessarily grow up washing my clothes. I didn't grow up, and I wasn't like I was born into the largest, richest family in the world, but I wasn't brought up that way. And I see somebody else that the 5-year-old is washing socks and washing stuff. 10-year-old is washing socks and washing stuff. I'm not spoiled. The person that started washing clothes when she was 10-year-old is not as, some of them are not as hardworking as I am right now. So what is normal is different. For me, values are the most important things. They are universal. The values of being kind, the values of being considerate. I would not let my son spray money, but for somebody, that's a normal thing. Like, get used to money. We are, in this family, we do money anyhow.
Loud.
And that's their modus operandi.
Doesn't mean
doesn't mean that the child will not be very hardworking. It doesn't mean the child will not get back home and study his books or be kind to people around. It doesn't mean he's a bad person. If the behavior, because sometimes we look at things based on who we are. Before I met Nima, if I see a young girl with hijab, I feel like you're suffering, like those small children, like, how can you suffer this small girl to tie hijab on her head? That was my opinion, because it wasn't normal for me. It wasn't normal. But it is the reality for them. This is how they live, and it is good. So I am not going to sit down and say, this is not normal, that they should spray money. Because even somebody is looking at you as an adult spraying money and saying, you are not normal. How can you be spraying money? Why can't you put it in an envelope? And somebody will define and say, it is normal for me to spray money. It's a way of me encouraging and nurturing my relationship or honoring the person I'm with. Normal differs from place to place.
When it comes to Mariam, I mean, these are interesting angles. I mean, how do we marry them? Because I hear both sides and I'm thinking, okay, what does normal mean to you? So what are your thoughts?
That's our table, you get to open your eyes to new things. But for me, looking at that video particularly, I don't think it's, I don't see the benefit of handing over wads of cash to a little boy and asking him to spray his friend. I personally also with adults, because I know that our children do what they see us do.
Yeah.
So I've also never been in that space where I feel like if I want to give my friend a gift, I'd rather put it in an envelope, a cash gift, or send it through a transfer. I just feel that, in my opinion, it's more decent. I feel that the spraying of money, I've said it before, is more about show-off. But I have been educated or enlightened on this table that it's not that, it's just our culture. Now, what is worrisome about that particular video for me is that with an adult, you worked for it, you earned it, you spend it. But for the child, They've worked for it, they've earned it, I hand it over to you, you spend it. So what am I teaching that child? When it comes to living this loud lifestyle, I'm entitled to it because there's someone who is going to work for it, earn it, and hand it over to me. When I'm 16, I'll be waiting for them. When I'm 21, when I'm 35, when in my 50s, I'm waiting for someone to work for it, earn it, and hand it over.
Let me lavish it.
Good. So that is it. So for me, the principle, when there are things we do, is not because we want to suffer our children. It's because there are principles of life we want them to learn. So that when they become full, wholesome adults. See, this is not in any way about what you said about washing. The reason I would have a washing machine and I have a person who does laundry come to my house and still insist that my son wash his clothes, it's not because I want to suffer my child. It's because you need to be I always say to them, I want you to be a full-grown, a whole adult. You go somewhere, whether they have washing machines, good for you, you know how, if they don't have washing machines, nobody would use, be able to take care of yourself.
Very much.
Today, this morning, we're talking about, with my daughter, and she was saying that she wanted money for Talk Shop. And I was questioning myself because Talk Shop money, how much is it? But I make it in such a case that for my son, I say it's 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's not as if you don't eat at home. It's not as if you not come back to eat. Okay, this is something everybody, I'll give you 3 times a week. The daughter gets twice a week because she stays in school longer on some days. It's not that I can't afford to give them the money. So this morning, what we're talking about, she was saying she wants to do something. There's something she calls Aminami Spa, where she does your feet. I said, okay, do you know what? I think this is what I'm going to do. You earn the money for your Talk Shop. It's not that it's not that it's wickedness. It's not that people who have more and give more are doing bad. It's just for me, the way I'm raising my child is, I just don't want you to be entitled because I know how this world is. I have seen people come from a lot of money and had to live their adult life with not as much as they grew up in. I've seen people who grew up with nothing and have had to live their life. I'm just, in my way, trying to prepare my child for the life that, whatever life that they may find, when
Let me take this call from Father Aaron, and I'll come to you, Nima. Father Aaron, thanks for calling.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Very well.
First time caller. It's nice to speak to all of you
this
morning. I thought it's more ideal if we see that video of this thing so that we know what we want to.
Because they're children, it's not really comfortable putting their faces out there as a station, so that's why. But go ahead.
Okay. But what the parents are teaching, the school authority should have frowned at it. It's not only for the babies alone. The school have told them that whatever gift you want to give the child, wrap it and bring it. That's the normal thing. I'm the school proprietor, so I don't expect a little child to come to school and be displaying affluence. It's not good. It can even give to other children psychological problems. They will not be happy. It's throughout that day.
Thank you very much, Father. This happened actually at the party. It wasn't a school. It was a house party or like the event party.
Birthday party. So, I want to say that, we saw videos of Nigerian young people in the university who were involved in Yahoo, who came and parked at the car parks, and they showed videos of the cars parked on the car parks for students, and then went and did the videos for the hardworking lecturers who couldn't afford the luxuries that they had. And we were all discussing it in Nigeria. Hey, we didn't know some of them started like this. We didn't know. The irresponsibility on the part of a parent who is transferring the words of cash is even a topic of a full day. Because there were other kids there. Other kids who will go home thinking less of themselves. Other kids, you can't control that, You could have control, you say no, it's privilege. You cannot control the 1,001 other children who were watching that boy thinking, what's even wrong with my dad? Comedians do jokes of parents and say, my father was a konkini. They will talk about their parents' hard work and what they lacked as children and make comedy of it. I used to find it so distasteful. And children are here watching. They live here with the mindset of comparison. You know it, you wanted it, you planned it, you did not plan it. That was not your intention. Story for the long story. But the children have seen it. They've left there with that psychology. You might never get the chance to repair it. And if we must be patriotic Nigerians, we must start from here. If this affluence of monetizing everything and all this materialism that we're dealing with in today's world has to be dealt with. Such a behavior from any parent is the most irresponsible thing I have seen in a long time. So there's something I do for my kids. I said it on the show once where my daughter, for whatever level of, I don't know how she learned it, but not from me, decided to tell somebody, you're lesser than me and your clothes are torn. Said, you will go back to that house. Not only will you apologize, you will make a best friend of that person you looked down on. Because I will not raise an adult who thinks I'm better off than everybody just because I have money in my bank. I know life can be good and it can be any other way for anybody because of the kind of background I have. I saw wealth, I saw poverty, I saw everything both sides, and anything can change for anybody.
So I get that. Wait. So
like,
downplaying it.
So it's not downplaying.
It's pretending not to see that we are dealing with materialism.
I'm trying to understand I'll come to you. I want you to relax. That's the one I didn't want to come to you directly.
Okay.
I was using the example of DJ Copy, Otedola's daughter.
Yes.
Wait, I say this is somebody that was born in wealth.
Yes.
Dangote's daughter born in wealth. It's a strong possibility. I remember when Kafilat Abiola was 10 years old. I was a child. MK Abiola's daughter. They gave us a Walkman. Back then, and it was like, for me, it was like, oh my goodness, I have never in my life seen it before. It was a big deal. Was I traumatized because I know my father would never buy you a Walkman for your birthday party to give as a souvenir. Then, so for me, I was for a while, it affected me, but it affected me in the sense that I was wanting to house my own party. I liked a party like that. But the truth is that it didn't affect the adult I became. It didn't affect me subconsciously. It didn't make me. So the point I'm trying to make is that is it possible that these rich kids are exposed to stuff like this and they can still be responsible adults? We always assume.
No, we're not saying
there's a chance. So there's something she said, and I get you, and I would like to go back there because we cannot stop. You can't say that you will not allow your children. I'm not saying it to you. I'm just saying it to the audience watching. That you will not allow your children enjoy the good things of life because somebody watching them beside will feel bad. Because you cannot control how somebody feels. You can't take responsibility for... Somebody can look at me and say, how can Tope is wearing hair in this economy? Look at the hair she's wearing. So I'll now say, oh, I'm not going to dress up again because somebody is watching me and the person will feel bad. Because I'm not evil and I'm kind. And I'm working really hard. So why would I now not deny? One of my mentor's children traveled first class last year. And it was on agreement the year before. Academically, they had to bring all A's. They had to do soul winning. They had to do their church retreats. Everything that they said they were going to do, they did. Mommy bought first class tickets for them. You will look at them in first class and feel like, oh, how can you buy? Because you did not know. I too didn't know. But I now saw the work. Even with sports, even with swimming, this particular set of children are grilled more than I grill my own children for them to get the results of largesse they are getting. But somebody will see that result and not know. So you see the boy spraying. Did you know what was the conversation that was had before you could spray money? Because in their family, they spray money. I have someone that the daughters wear gold. I was given, but gold was not my thing. But some people, culturally, they buy gold for their children back to back. And you will look at them wearing gold and think that because you can afford it, you are wearing gold. So for everybody, it is different. The values, parenting is such a big deal. Because your children, no matter how big or how small, will see different things that will make them feel less. And as they become adults, they will see things that make them feel less. As hardworking and as humble or as whatever it is. So you must give your children a sense of identity. That even if I see you spraying millions of naira, I will look at your millions. And my parents gave me. I had cousins that had massive mansion. I will go to the mama and say, we are going to your cousin's house. Oh, you see all the things, see, rejoice with them. We come back to our 2 bedroom. Exactly. So you must give, it's the parents. So the little boy that is expressing himself, let him, if he is expressing based on what his parents have allowed him to do, it's not, I won't give my children money to go and spray. That's not me. That's not my worldview. I won't.
So the idea is that let's not judge him or his
judge
parents.
Some.
Okay.
I will not sit here and agree. We will judge some, in particular this one. So the comparison, you know when you said copy, I said don't say copy. Because you don't see copy's father with all the millions he has, copy spraying as a 10-year-old. There's no video anywhere. Class does not need to loud. It doesn't have to be. Pepper them is for the people that are down. Spray it, show them. It's a bad it's a bad example
finish the topic.
any parent should give a child. I work hard for what I have. And I prefer, I'm safer, I'm more comfortable with people who don't have. I can have those conversations. Some people will go to the house and be like, I sit there. I maintain and behave myself. Do you understand? I traveled home and the billionaire in my family sat on the floor talking to me. Is he poor? It is not class when you're allowed and doing like that and put a 10-year-old there. You know, it is wrong in every ramification. And the adults will be saying, they don't say that I in them more. And that will not be able to talk.
Okay, I have you later time, so go ahead, Mariam.
Okay. So for me as well, it's not about, comparison in this case of everything. For me, we're talking about this spraying of money. There are some things that, in my opinion, are vices. And for me, that spraying of money, especially with a child, is a vice. So the example you gave of your friend and all the things they had to do to earn, what comes naturally in their family. That's the parenting we're all talking about. Yeah. They understand that they're earning it.
The reward.
Good. So, but please, someone explain to me, what is the value in teaching a child to get money and keep spraying? Someone tell me. And is it the money he put in his account that he's brought to his friend to spray? Is it money he had earned? Over the year, and they say, okay, Mommy, I want to put my monies together so I can spray him. So what is that lesson from giving a child, just handing him words of cash and spraying? So that's what we're talking about. Definitely, if you're born in a wealthy home, you can't help but enjoy it. You will live in your mansion. You will drive the cars, you will travel the world. Other children will have to adjust. What you will do as a parent of a child that is privy to being in the same school or the same neighborhood or friends with those, is to teach them, we don't have that, but it does not make you less of a person.
Yeah.
You are good in football, you are good in swimming, you're so good with your academics. We all have something that we're better at than others, so work on that one, and for the ones that you don't have, be happy for them, and someday, if it's something that interests you, you can make it for yourself, if your parents can't make it for you. This conversation for me is about teaching children proper values.
We're all right in different ways. Yeah. So you're right in the sense of, your children must work hard for whatever reward it is at whatever level you are in life. You're talking about the irresponsibility of parenting, which is really crucial in this, because I think we all agree that it's irresponsible parenting to give a child those kind of money to be spraying.
Besides, spraying money is illegal in Nigeria, mutilating money is illegal in Nigeria, and we must put that one out there.
Exactly. So who's going to
spraying money?
Who are they going to lock up?
And matching money is illegal in Nigeria. Parents who expose that is wrong.
We know that someone was recently locked up for that. So who are they going to lock up?
Is qualified.
In this
that law is properly qualified.
Is qualified?
Yes.
We know where Moriah is on this matter.
Stepping on it that is illegal. In fact, if I can spray you decently and classily, and I won't step on your money, please. It is the context.
Really, it's just about stepping on it.
I don't know. Quoting.
We will not see this spray body, but
I will spray, honey. I will see. Please, be right with your party. I will see properly. I'll spray you.
Spray me in envelopes. Just
no,
drop
wait,
the envelope. Let it just be dropping.
It's not fun. No way.
Is it fun for you or for me?
It's fun to throw it on you while you're dancing.
Don't spray.
Please, what are you talking about?
Over in envelopes.
No way. All right, that's all we can take on today's show. Hope you learned a few things as we have. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.